Welcome to JLCS Disc Golf. So I'm Jordan. I'm half of the JLCS channel. Corbin is my nephew. This is not Corbin. This is actually my son Tanner. But Corbin lives in Utah and I live in Florida. So between the two of us, we post videos. And you get a pretty good drastic difference in the type of disc golf I have to play, which is heavily wooded, and the type of disc golf that he plays, which is very high elevation with very scenic mountain views. So today we got a pretty good surprise for you. We have a Ledgestone mystery box. This is Discraft specific stamps. It is going to be kind of one of a kind. I'm pretty big into not buying just default stamps. I like to have my bag pretty unique. And so I'm going to start out with a little bit of why Discraft is the company that I use a lot for me. Corbin is not so much Discraft, but for me, I love Discraft. I use it all the time, and this is the reason why. So this right here is my second buzz. My first one got lost in a lake, but when I was learning to play disc golf about 20 years ago, I had thrown a bunch of drivers from every company that I could at the time, and I really didn't go very far. And so one day I was like, well, I'm going to throw this mid-range even though it's not supposed to go as far. And I went like 250 feet with dead straight, and I was like, wow, that was great. And so that became kind of my disc for a while. And then, as all of us do, I eventually threw it in a lake in Arizona. And then I got this one, which is now kind of a little piece of history because it has the modified wasp on it. But so we're going to go through some of these other discs we have here. These are first time for us, as my son stabs himself with the scissors. So we do not know what's in this. We know a little bit. This box has a cicada. It has a wasp, and then it has one other disc that I had him add to the order because I wanted to get this disc, and I'll explain when that one comes out because it definitely is one that I'm very excited about. All right. So let's see what we got first. So this is the wasp. It's an overstable mid-range. It's 177. It has no tooling inside. That's interesting. I didn't know that that's how that was. So I throw zones like crazy, and this is going to be interesting to see how different a wasp is from the zone. And so we'll get some videos up later as I compare them, and you'll get an idea. Now this one I'm excited about. So this is the one that I added to the order. This is a Page Pierce drive. So I am a huge fan of the Scorch. It's one of my favorite discs, and I have been looking for that more overstable version of this, and just looking at the back of this rim, I can tell it kind of has that micro bead. You won't be able to see it, I don't think, but it's pretty close to that micro bead that the Scorch has, but this is going to be more overstable, and I love the Wraith. Right now I've been bagging a Grace and in the Orbit plastic, and so I'm looking to see what this does as a difference.
Let's see, there's
Thrasher. This is really great. I've never thrown a Thrasher, but I have guys in my league that throw it, and they love it. It's a very flippy 12 speed. I'm pretty sure it's a 12 speed. Missy Gannon is awesome. So it's great to see that her stamp's on it. It's got this. I'm super excited to throw this one. It's also a little bit lighter, which I prefer lighter discs. It's 164 to 166. And so we're real excited to see how that one goes.
Let's see. Can't read this one. Jawbreaker.
And pretty sure it's a zone.
Zone, yeah.
Is that what it says? Oh, cool. It's a Jawbreaker glow zone. So even though it's purple, it's going to glow. I wonder what it's going to glow, what color it's going to glow. Can't tell. Um, we're gonna we'll figure that out. I'll let you know in the description a little bit later. But as I said, I love zones. Being Jawbreaker, it should get a little less stable, and we'll see what we can do with that. So
He's a squalid.
cool.
Squall.
So this is actually from DGA, which of course Discraft makes DGA discs. I have a buddy that loves the Squall. He would throw this thing everywhere, and I was just like, I don't even know what this is. So this is out of their special blend, is what they call it. It's basically the Z plastic, and it's a 6.4 -1.1. Really big fan of the -1.1 type. Those are discs that just, if you're a beginner, they tend to go very, very far for you.
The next one, Scorch.
Oh,
Lodestone.
so this is the Ledgestone 2023 Scorch. As I just said, Scorch is absolutely one of my favorite discs. My current one is out of the same plastic. It's a Z, and it's purple. And so this one may find its way into the bag with the custom stamp, and just being a little newer, it'll have a little more stability to it. 173 to 174. It's also a little heavier than the one I throw, but absolutely excited about that. This is, so far, I'm loving everything that's coming out of this box.
Meteor.
So good. So here's one of the double stamps. The Meteor. This is a disc that I have only thrown in big Z plastic. No, Z plastic. And so this being in the ESP, I prefer the ESP plastic in almost all of their discs. It just feels great. It's actually one of my favorite plastics that are out there. The Meteor is super flippy, 5.5 -3.1. Of course, if you're not getting the disc flat, it doesn't really matter. But if you get it flat, you'll notice that this likes to go right, but it's a pretty slow fading right. And very excited to throw it in the ESP. Is this our last one?
This is the Athena.
Oh, I couldn't have asked for a better box at the moment, because this was, I've almost bought this disc 10 times. This is the Big Z Athena. As again, we have this double stamp mistake, misprint. I actually really like misprints because they make them unique. Obviously, this is the custom stamp, but because it's been kind of cut out, it's there. The Athena slot for me right now, I've been filling it with the Undertaker. I really, really like the Undertaker, so it'd be really hard to replace it, but we'll see what happens. We'll go throw this one and we'll test it out. So really excited about that one too.
It's the Cicada.
And then this is another reason that I wanted this box. This is the first color I'm going to complain about. I don't like yellow discs that much. They're pretty hard to find in Florida. Depending on where you are, it's not too bad, but in Florida, it's real tough to find them. So the Cicada is their newest fairway driver. I've been throwing a stalker to kind of fill this, and eventually that got kicked out of the bag, and I started throwing an FD. And so to have a Cicada here, definitely looking to see if I can kind of replace that FD that I love so much. And I have a feeling this will be straighter, so maybe there's room for both of them in the bag. But definitely looking forward to throwing that out. So, but yeah, that's kind of what we got today. Very happy with it. Some gems for me. I love this Scorch. I'm really excited about this Thrasher with the custom disc. But yeah, and then I think that's great. If you want to try new plastic, I recommend disc or mystery boxes. Yes, sometimes it's companies that are like, well, we just want to get rid of these plastics, but in this case, Ledgestone, they do all their custom stamps for their tournament, and it's a good opportunity to really expose yourself to some discs that you may or not have. For me, I had 5. The only duplicate discs that I got out of my collection, I have 200 plus discs, and I got a Zone and a Scorch. All these other ones are completely new to me. Kind of the meteor isn't, so maybe you could actually just say it's only about 6. But you know, that's kind of how it rolls. Sometimes you'll get everything that you already had. Sometimes you'll get a bunch of new stuff. So thanks for hanging out with us, and look forward to seeing you on the next video. If you haven't subscribed, we'd love for you to subscribe. Link, we have an Instagram too. You'll see that in our hashtags, and look forward to having some comments from you guys as well. Love to know what you're excited about, what you thought was great out of this box. So, see you guys.